Good morning and welcome to Manic Fishing. Well, today, as promised, I'm going to have a try in the marina here and see if I can show you how some of these slow jigs work. I've got a variety of them. These are these new ones, these Jimmy jigs that I use with Dave Barham. These are quite nice. I've got a whole box full of them in here, ranging from 60 grams, which I like, that sort of size, 80, 120, and I've got a couple of these bigger ones to try out. I've also got some smaller ones which I quite like, these little H2Os. These are lethal, only 38 grams, but they work superbly. One small assist hook in these, and these two here, I'm actually waiting for a couple to turn up, but these two here are from Craig Thorne, and this one here is what I had that weaver on the other day. And I'll show you the action of these because each of these jigs moves in different ways. I'm hoping I can show you the action decent. And this one here, this is extremely interesting because with this particular jig, you can bend it. So you can make this literally, and the coating doesn't crack, you can literally make this do whatever you want to do. So you can slightly curve it, so this was going to move in different directions. So we'll have a good play with this. I'll be honest with you, it wasn't until I was talking to Craig that he told me that you could actually do that with this. So I'm gonna have a real play about with this one. I think this will be really interesting. I'm not a fan of a hook on the bottom, but that's how it came, but I will probably take that off. I only like the two hooks there, because what I find is when the hook's at the bottom, when you're banging it on the reef or on the wreck, you know, that's another thing to catch up on, so I'll remove that. But yeah, we'll have a go and see what the action's like. In this box here, oh, I don't know if you can see it, I literally have got jig after jig. So there's Savage Gear, there's Sidewinder, and obviously one of my favourites is the H2O. So we'll go through, we'll have a look to see what works and what doesn't work. There's another little one I think Craig gave me. That's another bendy one. So we'll go through them. And I'll try. I'm just waiting for Matt, the saltwater angler, to come down. He's stuck in traffic, and then what we'll do is we'll try the clarity. He's not super great, but we'll just have a try. I've got the underwater drone over there, so we'll give that a go down there, and I'm going to put the 360 camera down on a pole and hopefully get the action. I mean, obviously when you're in the sea, it's a much more vigorous affair, but I'm hoping I can show you something and give you some idea of how these jigs work, because there is a science in slow jigging, and you know, you need to appreciate and understand how they go down, because some of them will do this, others will dart, others will do this, and as I said, that one you can bend, you can literally make that do whatever you want it to do. So we'll just wait for Matt and I'll get myself set up. I'm going to try it on my two rods today. So I've got my my lighter one, Tenru injection. This is a 5 to 28 gram, which will jig comfortably a 60 gram jig, not really much heavier. And then this is the Bulldog Puppy Tenru again, and this will jig, well, it's supposed to be able to jig up to 100 grams, but it'll do a 150 easy, but I like to do no more than about 120, and that's the size of the jigs that I've got. So I'll wait for Matt, and then we'll start having a mess around. Right, so Matt's just turned up. We're just going to have a mess about and see if he can get this. Yeah, he's an absolute expert with this drone. So we're just going to familiarise ourselves, or should I say Matt is, with the settings and that on it, and then we'll go down, and I'm going to try this one. I've taken the hooks off of it, but this is a Craig one that you can bend around, so you can see that it does take a little bit of bending, but there you go, it's sort of banana shaped. So we'll give this a try. We'll just let Matt get his bearings. I think you turn that padlock off. And there you go. So I'm going to get the 360 out. So this is on a 3 metre pole. So what I'm going to try and do, this is, you know, it's quite hard to try and show you guys how they work, and whether we can get any footage is another story, but we will try. So let's put that there. Put this one on. So this is on a 3 metre pole. I think once you get it down and sussed at a depth, you'll be able to find. And I was thinking of perhaps just fixing this here and putting it in the water, so I can actually go between the two. Yes. It's all technical stuff, this, Manic fishing. So we're just going to go down with this little jig here, and I'm going to try and bang it pretty close to this underwater drone. And this is just straight, so I haven't bent this jig. Right, so that's the action of this one like that. Now let's see what this does when we give it a little bend. So let's bend this, let's exaggerate it, let's put it almost like a banana. So that's that shape. Now this is what I've been told. This okay. Okay. So this should make this slow down, this action. Almost looks like a leaf falling from a tree in the wind, you know. So you're also getting that action when you're coming up. That's doing a twisting action coming up. Can you see that? Yeah, that's pretty awesome, that, isn't it? So I don't only think that these fish will take this on the way down. I'll think they, like this, they'll take it on the way up, because when it's not bent, it'll come up straight because you're direct to the clip. So let me just straighten this out again and show you. So that's that effect there. So let's bend it back. And the beauty with this one I get from Craig is it doesn't crack. So if I put this back down, okay, so that same jig, but as you can see, when that's going, when that's going down, that's not doing that affair. That's more skirting down. Still quite a good action, but I think you can cater that jig to how you want it. So if you want to slow that down, if it's a raging tide, that will slow down. All right, what we'll do is I'll change jigs and we'll just check to make sure we're getting this footage before we carry on too much. Okay, so we just tried Craig's one. Now I'm going to try this H2O. This is a 80 gram. And what I've done is I've got a 360 down there as well. So we'll drop this down and see what this action's like. So I'll sort of get it in between the two. I mean, obviously I've got to move this quite vigorously to make it work. And as I explained, it's quite hard to get this footage in the marina, but we're just trying to give you some idea of how these jigs work. So when you use them, you understand how they work. It's all in the action, you know. Oops. See how they dart? And what you're mimicking when you're using a lure is you're trying to mimic an actual live fish. But with a slow jig or any sort of metal, you're actually trying to mimic a dead or wounded fish. And that's what you've got to try and portray when you're fishing. And obviously a bass or any predatory fish is going to go for that, a wounded fish, because it's easy prey. So sometimes slow jigging is deadly. Can you see how that darts away to the side? Just how you move that, when you spin that, just little wrist snaps. I'm trying to get it over towards the drone. So I can literally make, now when I understand how that goes, now I can see. I'm trying to make that dart. So I'm right underneath that now. Let's hope I don't actually catch a fish in here, because I'm not allowed to. That'll be edited out. Oops. So this is a H2O, so I'll just give this up to this 360. So if I put another one down now, I'm going to switch rods because I'm going to put a slightly heavier one on. That's an 80 gram, and really this rod isn't designed to use these heavier ones. So let's just put this down and I'll try this. This is a jig that I caught in the previous video. I caught that weaver on, and this is one from Craig, and this is I think this is about a 120, but whether this is going to show you the action in here, because obviously it's heavy. So let's give it a go and see. And this one, I believe, will dart when I get it working. See, it's darting sideways. Once I get it working properly, really and truthfully, you do need a bigger column of water to make these work. Obviously, I'm in, 15 foot of water, not even that, and I'm trying to keep this jig so that you can see it through this drone. Hopefully my underwater cameraman Matt is getting all of this. We've got record on, haven't we? Great. And I can see the red light flashing on the 360, so let me just try and come to Matt. So yeah, that's a great action on that. And what this one has got on it, so you can see when I'm pulling it up, it's actually rotating. Yeah, it's a great action on that. As I said, I had that quite a nice size weaver on this. But what this has actually got on it, it's got like a, very hard to show you on the camera, but it's sort of got wedges on the side. It's got a nice little shiny eye on that, whether that has anything to do with it or not. Same as with the colour, really. Obviously fish do go for different colours. And I thought this would be a pollock killer, but it was a weaver lure the other day. So let's try we'll go through a few. So while I've got this rod out, I'll just change it. When you fish these slow jigs, you have, I don't know if you can see that, you have the actual eye that the lure is made, the sort of the casting eye. Then you have another loop, and then you have a loop that the hooks go on. You never want to put your clip or your direct tie to that, because you're hampering the hooks. So I always put mine on this middle eye here, and then it's not doing anything. But you can just put it on there, it doesn't matter, but never put it directly onto the hooks. So let's try another one. Now I'm going to try this smaller one. Now this, I believe, is a yo-yo. This is an H2O, and this is just a little 38 gram. This is ideal. I mean, this is a nice little one for any sort of fishing, really. The lighter you can get away with, the better the action, because obviously the heavier the metal, the faster and the straighter it's going to drop. With this will flutter more in the tide. So let's get this one down and we'll have a look. Recording. Yep. So yeah, you can see that one pivoting. Let's try and bring it along a little bit to this 360 as well as the
on here. See if I can go down with it, ready?
Yeah. Right, coming up. There's a fantastic action on this little yo-yo. These are the ones I like more than the heavier jigs. You know, and that's just mimicking a little sprat or little white bait that's wounded, really. Yeah, that's a lovely action. And just doing little wrist snaps just to make that move. Right, let's go in and have a go, and I'll switch over my rod and I'll show you these. Well, I think I've got a lighter one, but I'll just take this one off, and I'm going to try this Jimmy Jigs. And when I went out with Dave Barham the other week, he had these. I'd never heard of them before, and he had some, and I decided to give this guy a message, and he sent me some through. Now these are a 60 gram one, quite a nice colour, that one. So let's see how this one works. So I can work this 60 gram quite comfortably on this rod, if I can get it on the clip. There you go. And the only thing I don't like about this that he's sent me through is he's just tied the assist hook round there. There's not a actual clip around that, so I'm not too happy about that, but there you go. We'll give it a go and see. Now these are, oh yeah, I like that. It's a similar sort of action, but they all slightly pivot and move in different ways. You know, and obviously the colour is going to work different in different days, different areas. Just to have a slight turn on the metal will make it move different. So that's quite nice, that. So let's get that over here by this 360 as well. Oops. Yeah, you can see how it pivots and rolls and spins. You know, I say it really, the effect it looks to me is almost like you say, it's like a leaf falling off a tree and coming down. It's spinning down, fluttering. Fish will absolutely destroy that. Right, so let's switch over to a slightly bigger one. So that's Jimmy Jig. So he's given me some bigger ones here, which are, I think these are a 120. I actually asked for 10 pink and 10 yellow, but he actually sent me through 20 pink, so wasn't too happy about that. But there, that's what I was on about. That ring is separate, but we'll try it. So let's go down on this this bigger lure rod. So this one, this rod is actually designed, as I said, for 100 gram, but it'll comfortably work a 120. Well, comfortably work a 150. So let's try this. This is just a bigger version. This is what Dave was using that day when he was hitting them bass. So obviously, because it's heavier, it goes down quicker. So this is more for deep wreck fishing. Yeah, look at that. That really dives. Oh, it's nearly took my 360 out then. Yeah, can you see that? That action, this is a tumble. This one tumbles. When you're bringing that up, it tumbles and pivots. Right, we're trying to get this under the drone without it smashing it, so you can see the whole action of it. So hopefully we're getting this footage of it coming up and coming down.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So that's Jimmy Jig 80 gram. So let's try a sorry, that's the 120. This is one he chucked in as a sort of bonus one, which looks quite squiddy, but we'll try this and see what this one's like. We're going to try and get it. Matt's got the drone sort of upside down, so we're going to try and show you it going up and down if I can. So this is a nice action on this one. You getting that?
No, I just need to come
the other side.
This your side of it. That's it. Yeah, down there and drag it past the.
Okay.
That's it. Lovely.
See it reasonably clear.
Yeah.
Let's try it over by this 360 before it runs out of battery.
Yes.
Right, we're going to try this one. This is a H2O. This is a 130, and this is a. Oh, I've just taken the thing off. I think this is a tumbler. It's called. Yeah, tumbler. So, in theory, it should tumble. So let's get this down and have a look what it's like. So obviously this is quite heavy, and you might not see this. This is a blue colour, but oops. So yeah, that is literally tumble rolling. Quite a nice action, that one, isn't it? Let's try and get it up a little bit higher. This is a blue coloured one, so you might not see it as well as some of the lighter ones.
Try the over the top again.
Yeah, so this lure more does almost like a barrel roll, really, where the others sort of flick. This sort of does this barrel roll affair. God, I thought I had something then. I must have gripped the pontoon. I won't catch anything because I've still got the rubbers on the hooks. I'm trying not to get my braid around the motor. Right, so let's try them. We'll go back through a couple more because I don't want the the battery to run out on it. Yeah, I've still got those little rubber protectors on the hooks on this one. So let's have a look what else we're going to try while I'm here with this heavier rod. So these are nice. I had a lot of success with these, and this is a Savage Gear. This is 100 grams. A real early video I did on a reef round the corner of Beachy Head. I had quite a few bass, and the bass really were not a lot bigger than this lure. So let's put this down and try this. This is a Savage Gear Salt. Yeah, and that does that. That does that same sort of barrel-y effect. Quite a nice action that, spins around. See if I can get it under this drone. Yeah, goes off in totally different angles. As I say, when you're fishing in deeper water, you'll exaggerate this action, because obviously I'm only in 10 foot of water and I'm trying to make this lure dance to this drone as such. When it's in a lot more column of water, a lot deeper water, it'll do its own thing, coming into its own. Right, I'll try and get underneath it now. You seeing that?
Come up a bit higher.
Very hard to get him to go straight, you know?
Yeah, if you just keep doing it,
Yeah.
you'll suddenly hit a good shot.
Let's get another one while you're in that position. Right, so let's try this one. This is a Halo. This is a Sidewinder. I'm not sure if I've tried this one actually, but we'll give it a go. Shall I go this side?
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Ah.
Just do this next one in slow-mo.
And this is another one of Jimmy's jigs. This is another sort of freebie chucked in. I'll say a lot of his stuff, they use, you know, a lot of big game fish, you know, the snapper and all of that. Well, this one's quite nice action. But I think a lot of the long ones seem to do a lot of more of this sort of barrel rolling affair. Yeah, I think I would definitely put this one on. This is definitely a good action. It sort of skirts down in the tide. Yeah, I like that. Right, let's just try. I want to go back and try. I'll show you this. Let's see if we can just do a better one with this. So I'm going to try this bendy one again. This is Craig Fawn's. Nice and light. I like them light. And obviously this is a bit of a game changer, really. you know. So let's just drop this down here by this 360. So this is Craig's one. So I'm waiting. Craig is going to send me through. He's just had another mould. We had a good discussion the other night about them, and you know, really the less weight you've got, the better the jig will work. And obviously if it's slightly wider, it's going to move in different ways, slightly longer. I mean, this is a game changer because you can actually bend this and slow this down and speed it up, or whatever you want to do. So yeah, I do think it is a game changer. So what I've tried to do is I have tried to show you different ways that these metals work and whatever. Obviously it's very difficult to do in the Marina. Matt's done a great job with the drone. It takes a little while to get it sorted out and sussed out, but I think he's done a great job with the drone. And yeah, well, thanks very much, Matt. This is the saltwater angler. Thank you so much for doing the professional filming in the Marina here. And yeah, there's the two dogs. She's allowed off the lead. He's shackled to the boat because he's not allowed off the lead because he's naughty. But yeah, thanks for watching Manic Fishing. At the end of the video, you'll see a prompt for another video. Watch that one, that's epic. And then you'll see my Manic Fishing logo. Hit that logo, that's my subscribe button. Please subscribe to the channel. It does mean the world to me, and it does make the channel grow. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day.